Actually, it was supposed to be today. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Yolanda. Hey, Dalzenia. I see you guys popping in. Travel agent Shelly, is good to see you. Hey, Facebook group, is a good to see you. And hey, YouTube, is good to see you. So I actually decided to pop in on all three today because I want to share a little bit about branding and get into the beginning part of branding. Next week is actually the master class where we're going to do Ignite Your Unique Brand. I'm going to share all things branding that I have learned and that I have implemented over time, and some things that can help you to really stand out from the rest, what I've used to help me to stand out from the rest. All right, it's good to see you guys. All right, let me see. My guest tonight, I'm actually going to do this to see which one is the most popping for me tonight. Is it going to be IG? Is it going to be inside here in our CEO group? Is going to be on YouTube. I'm all three. Make sure you say hi. Hi, Dusty. Hey, Viola. Hey, Jazzy. I see you popping in. So tonight, I'm going to do first is invite you to next week, Thursday, the same time. I'm going to be doing a free live masterclass. So make sure you register for it. You should see the link in Facebook. If you don't see the link in Facebook, you should be seeing it about now. If not, I will pop it into you guys, but make sure you join us next week, Thursday. It's absolutely free. And we're going to be sharing more about your unique brands and how you can really take your brand to the next level for this new year. How many of you guys excited about your brand for this year, your personal brand, your business brand, your new brand that some of you are going to revamp, right? How many of you guys are going to revamp your brand? Get a little clearer on things. Hey, Tammy, I see you popping in. Hey, Joanne, I see you popping in. I love it. Live, laugh, love. Karen, I see you popping in. Yeah, so I'm navigating the spaces. And of course, I'm in YouTube too, because I said I'm going to start shifting all these spaces into this space, because right now, this is the space that's not being so highly regulated. So make sure you follow me on YouTube, youtube.com/Dr. Ali Griffith, because I'll be over there a little bit more. Hey, Alana, good to see you. All right, so about brand story. This year, you guys are going to truly see me unfold a brand story as I begin to take Zachary's brand. You all guys all know who Zachary is. That's Zachary. Let me see if I can point the right direction. That's Zachary. That's my son. He's 18 years old, and he is in the process of graduating from high school. He's on the autism spectrum. And I'm going to share more of his journey as he takes it into independence, as he's getting ready to move into college, right? Or his transitional program that's equivalent to college. As we do this space, I'm going to share how we're going to take him as a brand, right? A personal brand that we've developed over time, but we've never really took the time out to really take his brand to the next level. So as I begin to do his brand, hey, Dr. Joy, Karen, I see you over here in the CEO group. Make sure you guys say hi. Your hi matters. As I began to share the behind the stories and the behind the scenes of really building and developing his brand, I'm going to share it with you, and you guys can do the same. You guys know, as I do, you do, right? When I move, you move. That's our tribe call. When I move, you move. So as I'm beginning to really go into the essence of the foundations, setting up the foundation, then taking step by step, then showing you the growth process and how we're going to expand his brand. Why am I doing this year? Because I've been putting him behind everybody else for the last 10 to 12 years of our business. I've been focusing a lot on my clients. I've been focusing a lot on developing their brand. And now that he's getting ready to go into college, and he is now in a space where I want to make sure his brand, his legacy brand, is bringing in the revenue, is doing that evergreen work, is doing a space where I'm going to show you how you don't have to physically be there, and your brand can continuously show up for you when you're not physically there. As he's getting into college, and he's now getting into a space of how he's going to take and show himself out. So he's going to be him, right? And if you guys know, Zachary's going to be Zachary. It ain't going to be me trying to make Zachary be anything else other than who he is. But I'm going to show how authenticity can be, and how you can really truly take the essence of who you are, how you can really create massive impact simply by being who you are. Type out, simply by being who I am. You don't have to go out there and create something. I'm not going to go and create him into a star. All I'm going to do is highlight him. I'm going to tap into some spaces, and I'm going to share what makes him specifically unique. So next week, I'm going to start that process of really tapping into his unique service provision that he'll be providing to people. What makes him so unique? And I'm going to share the steps I do with him with you so that you can actually tap into that space. Now, why is it important? Right? Why is it important that we know our brand story? Why is it important that we know our brand story simply by being who I am? I see you, Joanne. Thank you. It's important for us to be our brand story and share our brand story so people know the behind the scenes of what they see, right? They know the behind the scenes of what they see. I share a lot about Zachary because he is my behind the scenes of what you see. He is who I have in my corner, who I've shared, who I have learned from. I love to share his lessons. And that's part of my brand. It's what makes me me. It's what launched the legacy was all about, making sure that I'm creating a space that he gets to thrive off of and he gets to learn from me. Now, it didn't always start this way, right? Here's a brand story. When we get into it, didn't always start this way. What you may see now, it didn't start at Launch the Legacy. It didn't start at having Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and YouTube and the thousands of people in my following space and being shared on front of many stages, from Steve Harvey, Lisa Nichols, Tony Robbins, all the places that I've been, Good Morning America, Drew Barrymore show. It didn't start like that. It started from the core. And the core was, I didn't want to show up. I wanted to hide. I did not want people. First of all, I'm a professional. As a professional, I didn't want people to know this is what I'm doing on the sides. I was hiding one side of my life and living one side of my life and not wanting to show up on social media because I didn't want to be judged. I didn't want to show him on social media because I didn't want him to be judged. So I'm busy hiding in all these spaces, but showing up in separate spaces. You guys know how that is, how they show up and still hide? I mean, you know how to show up and still hide, right? So then there came a point where I realized that I couldn't do that anymore. I didn't want to do that anymore. That I was being a disservice to myself and a disservice to whoever I was called to serve. And truly, my coach at that time, which was Susie Carter, who was at that time, she was operations COO of Motivating the Masses. And I had the privilege of coaching with her. And she was like, it's time for you to show him. And I'm like, show who? Show him. Show him that you are doing all these things that you're doing and you're still being a phenomenal mom. Show him that you're getting on these planes, going to these places to take your life to the next level, and you still return home to deal with a child on the autism spectrum. Show him. Let him out. Let the people know, because that is the only way they're truly going to connect with you. So when I said show him, you mean show my life? You mean like not protect him, not have people judge him, have others make their own opinion of him, and then not just him, but have others make their own opinion of me. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to have people having an opinion of me. I wanted to be the only one that could share certain things, but not share everything. And I could show up and hide. How many of us know how to show up and hide? So that became the evolution space of where I wrote the first book, All Amazing Gifts, and I actually shared our story. I shared what it was for me to actually accept autism. I shared what it was for me to be a professional in the space as a speech language pathologist, and I'm showing up, but I'm not showing all the way up, right? I'm showing up, but I'm not showing all the way up. So it was scary for me because so many people didn't know all of this was happening. I'm here showing up. I'm a speech pathologist, I'm the audiologist, and they see me all dressed up and in the car and doing all these things, but they didn't know what I was going through when the doors would close. Right? They didn't know how I was barely trying to figure this thing out called parenting. Right? I'm a professional in a space and I can help others, but when it came to helping myself, I was lost. Through finding myself, through the help I got, through coaching, through being in community, through showing up in other spaces and learning lessons and learning techniques and learning that I can't keep hiding, and learning that in my Caribbean culture, nobody ever wants to show up because they don't want anyone to know the real deal. So we always had to put this facade on and make and a black belt, thank you, right? And we always have to put this facade on, like everything's great, everything's okay, all is well, and smile. Meanwhile, it's not. It's not. it wasn't. And it was my time to actually start to deal with it. And as I dealt with it through writing, right? Through writing a book, which is what Karen is doing, which is a lot of what my clients are doing, which is what I urge many of us to do. And if you need help, of course, I'm here. There are other people that can help you. But tell your story, share your story, share the things that you had to really navigate through, and be authentic in that space. Now, I'm not saying to go down there and drag out your life and make your life seem like it's the worst that it could be. Share where you can. Share what you know that you've been sent here to overcome, to now help others. So a lot of us like to share from the mountaintop, but we only want to say all the great things and all the happy things, and it's happy-go-lucky. Not that even up to today, this morning, we had to go for our doctor's appointment. Even at our doctor's appointment, we're still working through his process of getting his Social Security and his Medicaid. Why I never did it before is because I just didn't need it at that time. I was grateful that I had a job and I had a business and everything was running well. But he's 18 and he's now going to be an adult and he can't live off of me. Now it's time for him to have his own. So now it's me going through the process with him. And at the doctor's office, he's bugging out because we're sitting there too long and he wants to move around, and he's doing this TikTok dance in the middle of the place because Zachary can't sit still for longer than 5 minutes. And the wait was, and we had to get there super early. So 7 o'clock appointment, super early. They want us to wait. He can't wait. 18, he still can't wait. He still can't sit. So as I'm navigating this space, I'm literally laughing and I'm like, these are the things that people don't know what they see and what I go through. They don't understand my level of patience and how this child teaches me patience. They don't understand how he teaches me to not be afraid of what other people think. He teaches me how to stand up and be bold and be himself. But even in front of that space, I'm still like, would this boy just sit down because I'm tired? I just want to see the doctor and I just want to get this over with so you can get what you need. And I'm navigating this as I'm still running a business, as I'm still being a professional, as I'm still being a co-founder of SmartFit Fam, getting ready for our masterclass next week, Thursday. Please don't miss out. So I'm still running my team as they get our CRM and we're moving from one space to other space and doing all the things in the back end. I'm still navigating this journey called autism. It doesn't change. But what it does is it makes me stronger. What it does is it helps me to show up. What it does is it helps me to know that I don't have to hide anything of who I am. Each time I share, I grow. Each time I'm able to talk about it, this is the brand story. Brand story is how I am as a brand. Why is it that my clients, when they work with me, that they have such a feeling, a ooey gooey connecting feeling, a real life, this is how Dr. Ali is feeling, a patience to navigate the hardest complex situations and or things in business and or in life, because that is who I am as a brand. Does that make sense? So when we show up in the world, we have to show up from a space of our authentic self. And not just the authentic self of who we are now, but the things that we go through each day, the wins that we have, the challenges sometimes that show up. This week, I had to take a whole mental pause because what's happening in the world. And I didn't even realize how it was impacting me on so many ways until this morning. I was finally able to listen to an Abraham Hicks program, and it shared how I can't stay in the funk. I got to move more towards where I am, first accepting what's happening, because we know a whole lot's happening, right? As an empath, I'm feeling the whole world. Trust me, we are feeling it. But I can't stay there. Y'all, we can't stay there. We can't stay there. How many of us kind of hit a level of depression this week? How many of us who never felt depression before actually was like, wait a minute, what's happening here in the world? I'm totally lost of what's going on around me. But still showing up for the cause, but still making sure that no matter what, I got to navigate myself through this. Our lived experience is all of who we are. Exactly. Navigate ourselves through it. Use whatever tools we can use, whether it's plugging in, whether it's coming to a masterclass, whether it's showing up in a space that can celebrate you, or just showing up in a safe space. A safe space. That's what some of us need sometimes, a safe space. So what do? When I need it, I provide it. When I'm confused and I don't know what to do, I go back to my homeostasis. I go back to meditation and prayer, which works for me. I go back to Aruba if I need to, which I'm gonna be doing in another few weeks, a few months. Like I'm gonna be going back there, okay? Because that's where I need to go to create my solution. That's where I need to go so I don't stay stuck in problem phase. Because a lot of us, we get stuck in this is a problem. Yeah, I get it. This is a problem, but what are we going to do in the solution towards it? And it may not be on a massive scale, but it's going to be on what we can do, what I can do as Ali. And I literally had to stop and just embrace that self with myself, what I can do. So what do? I work on developing my son's brand. What do? I work on developing your brand. So whoever God aligns to work with me, I work with them. I just show up so that I can continue being that catalyst for whoever needs it. That's my brand story. That's what has me as a coach. That's what still has me as a communication specialist. That's what still has me showing up. So now what's your story? What's some of the things that you go through that is important to who you are as a brand today? It's not just slapping a logo on. It's not just, and we're going to talk about that. I got you. I got you. We're going to talk about that next Thursday. Ignite Your Unique Masterclass. Make sure you sign up. If you have not signed up, go to the bio someplace. You'll see the link somewhere. But the key in all of this is we got to show up. We got to find what makes us unique, what makes us stand out from everyone else. And we're going to tap a little bit into that. And it's beyond the logo. It's beyond the website. It's beyond the visual. Those are important. I'm not denying that. Those are extremely important. But as we get that done, first of all, is that in alignment with who we are? And I asked some questions in the Facebook group throughout the week. Is our logo in alignment with who we are? Is our brand colors in alignment with who we are and who we serve? And what we want to use as that connective space. Are we truly, truly doing this? Or are we just doing this just to make it look like we're doing this? I don't want you guys to be just navigating in life, just letting life flow. We want to show up. Type out the word show up. Type out the word show up. Like show all the way up this year. Where we're fully authentically ourselves, where we're sharing our stories and connecting with people in a real unique way, letting them know that they're not alone in that space, letting them know that, hey, I deal with stuff every single day. You ain't the only one. Don't let this pretty smile fool you. Every day there's a different challenge that I have to bear. I've just learned how to navigate it in a different way. Thank you, Joanne. I've just learned how to navigate it in a different way. I've just learned how to allow myself to feel that way, but don't stay stuck in that way too long. How many of us sometimes have it happen, but then we stay stuck for way too long? Like way too, y'all, way too long. Allow and then pivot and move forward, right? Even in the midst of the biggest storms, and God knows biggest storms are showing up. Right? As soon as we get over one storm, here comes another set of biggest storms. It will not end. And some are going to be so big that we're going to think, oh my God, how am I going to survive from this? Real talk. That's how I feel sometimes every day. That's how I feel sometimes when I'm navigating a different challenge. Like, wait a minute, how am I going to navigate from this? What gives me solace, and this is the lesson I'm going to leave you with, because I said I'm going to make this about 20 minutes. We got about 2 minutes or so to wrap this up. What I'm going to leave you with is I learned my lessons. I learned my lessons through each one. I stop and I pause and I try to figure out, okay, God, what are you trying to teach me here? I stop and I listen so I can hear what it is that I'm supposed to do. And this is what I implore for you guys to do. Stop and listen. Don't listen to the noise. And I think I posted that earlier. Don't just show up and listen to the noise. Don't listen to the distractions, because there's a lot of distractions. Type out the word distractions that will show up and get you all confused, like I've been feeling all week, all confused. And it's going to keep coming. It's going to keep coming. Like every day, here's another one and another one and another one, just to get you confused and all over. But I promise you, like I promised myself and I remind myself, don't allow myself to get caught up with that mess. Don't allow myself to see the smoke and all that kind of stuff. There's something in here bigger for me to show up and create bigger impact. And if I'm going to use these platforms and I'm going to use this place and I'm going to use showing up and I'm going to use branding and use helping Zachary with his brand and making sure that I teach in the aspect of whatever realness Not fakeness, but realness is showing up, and how we all can navigate through it. Now it's gonna look different for all of you guys because you all your your paths are different than mine. I can't tell you exactly what it's gonna be. All I could do is provide a space for us to start to tap in, and for us to do something about it, and for you to know that you got a cheerleader right here. If anything else, I may not always physically show up, but y'all know I will ground you spiritually. I will say a prayer for you. I will show up on a call for you. I will send you words of encouragement. And when you don't physically see me, I am spiritually aligned. Just call out. Just let me know that's what you need. And if that's what you need for you to show all the way up, if you need the actual hand holding, if you need the actual support in that space, just know that you're not alone. Genuine, genuine. And I didn't even drop a link for you to sign up for anything. Genuine. I just want to see us not get caught up in the mess and to fully show up as who we are. Now, don't create these businesses on the fluff on the side. Create something that means something. Create something that means something. If I'm going to stop and pause, Launch the Legacy was about, 14, 15 women of us sharing the importance of us writing in that book, sharing our journey, and being in something collective to really navigate what this legacy is that we really want to leave behind. And Launch the Legacy continues as I live the legacy through Zachary, as I continue to share that autism is not going to stop him. Autism is not going to limit him. Autism is not going to put him in a box and let him stay there. We're going to navigate through this no matter what. No matter what. And we're going to highlight it and share it out to the world and watch him impact the world. I already know that that's what he was created for. I already know everything I've done for everyone else was prepping me to do for him, which will continue doing for everyone else. I already know. I'm just being obedient to my call. Are you being obedient to your calling? Or are you letting all the smoke get you distracted? Use the smoke if you need to. If y'all know what I'm saying. Use it if you need to. Just make sure you show up authentically as yourself. If you received this, hashtag I received this. Otherwise, thanks for passing through. I will see you next Thursday. We will be live inside of our Zoom room. Make sure you're signed up. It's all a free class. If you want all the replays and all that kind of stuff, it's a $27 VIP. That is up to you. It's not a must, but if you want it, it is there for you. And I can always guarantee you the VIP will be beneficial for you. Come join, get tapped into what makes you uniquely you, how you're going to use it in your brand this year. Gleam in on each other, and let's see how we can really take ourselves to the next level in 2025 and beyond. I love y'all. Have a blessed and amazing night. Let me see who I'm going to shut off first and who I'm going to leave last. All right, so the one with the you guys got the same numbers. So I was gonna say the one with the biggest call of a biggest number. I was gonna do the after party. Y'all know I love my after parties, right? But all right. So YouTube, y'all gotta go because y'all got the lowest number right now. So I'm gonna jump off of YouTube.